Hey everybody, Gunson Undercover here. Today is Saturday, February 8th, 2020. And we got a follow-up story to a municipal judge by the last name of Thompson, I think it is. Thomas. We'll find out when I read the story. He was working for various different municipalities here in Monmouth County. And one of the things that he was doing that got him in trouble is he was fixing tickets. Not fixing tickets in the manner that you think where you would get off. What he was doing was converting these tickets into local ordinance violations. I think the big one he was doing was he would take the ticket and make a contempt of court ticket out of it. And the purpose of that is when it's an ordinance violation, the town keeps all the money. If it's a state ticket, then that money gets divided up. Now, we all know, if you've ever sat in municipal court, it is nothing but a money-generating scheme. It's nothing to do with law and order. It's all about generating money, period. And those judges are there to generate money. And when I read the story, you'll see what I'm talking about. Those judges are, in my opinion, are under pressure to generate that money, that revenue, and if they don't, they may not get their contract renewed. And one of the things I've been talking about is you go and you look at the budgets of these towns, and they have line item in there, court fines. And they'll show you what last year's fines were. I'll give an example. Homedale Township, one of my favorite towns to watch, is they take in $550,000 in court fines, and then for the 2019 budget they put an anticipated revenue of $525,000. And if they don't generate that money or meet that quota, that poses a problem with the budget. And of course the administrator will call the chief up, who will rally the pirates and send them out there to generate money, and also that in turn sends people to court, and then the judge can further generate more money for the town. You see, it is all about revenue. The more I look at these budgets and start watching and see what these police departments are up to and towns are up to, they're all there to generate money. See, they can't raise your taxes, but they can always hit you up with fines and tickets and things like that, because the town only has basically three ways of generating revenue: through property tax, through licensing fees, like you want to get a liquor license, a mercantile license, building permit, dog license. That's another way they generate money. And then finally, the big money making scheme is through ticketing, revenue enforcement, court fines. So now that brings us to this story right here. It's reported on NJ.com. It was, they came out January 16th, so I'm a little behind on some of the stories because I've just been busy lately. And it reads, former judge who fixed 4,000 tickets gets disbarred, banned from judicial service. There it is right there. Now, when he was crying, he didn't want to lose his practice license. He wanted to continue in law. And he should not. He should be thrown out. He should lose his lawyer license. Shouldn't be able to be in law ever again because he lied. He was crooked. He was disingenuous. So let's read the story. A former part-time Monmouth County Municipal Court has been disbarred and permanently banned from judicial service after pleading guilty in 2018 to fixing 4,000 tickets in order to drive revenues to the towns he worked in, the state Supreme Court ordered Thursday. While serving in public office as a municipal court judge in 9 jurisdictions, here's his name, Richard B. Thompson admitted to falsifying records by suspending mandatory motor vehicle fines in traffic ticket cases. Instead, he substituted baseless contempt of court charges in their place. Now, the reason he did this and the reason he got away with it for as long as he did is if you're going to court and say you've got a little ticket there, moving violation, it's going to cost you some points, and it's going to ultimately drive your car insurance up, and they come at you and say, well, instead of paying $150 for the ticket it's going to give you points and put your car insurance up. We'll charge you, I'm just throwing a figure out here, $200 contempt of court. Now, if you're good at math, or maybe if you're not so good at math, you're going to take the deal. I know I would take the deal because it's cheaper than your car insurance going up and having that motor vehicle infraction on your abstract. Because if you get pulled over by, say you, I don't know, you roll through a stop sign and the court made you a little deal and you paid the deal, you don't have that on there. But if they didn't make that deal and you got that roll through the court through the stop sign, and say 6 months later or a year later you get pulled over doing the same thing, the cop runs your plate, he sees that you have a history of doing that, he's going to give you another ticket. That's how it just works. All right, let me continue here. Thompson did so knowing that all the fines and contempt charges would be directed to towns over which he presided, authorities said. The mandatory motor vehicle fines he was supposed to impose were required to be divided between the town where the offense occurred and Monmouth County. Now, I'm a little confused because I thought these tickets were divided up, say if it's a state 2C code, that it would be divided up between the town and the state, but it looks, based on what they're saying here, it's the county that they got to split the money with. The purpose of his criminal scheme was to use his authority in his public office to direct maximum revenue to the towns where he presided as a municipal court judge, the Disciplinary Review Board of the Supreme Court wrote in April 2019. 8 of the 9-member Disciplinary Review Board of the Supreme Court voted to disbar Thompson, and C. Singer voted to impose a 3-year suspension. I'm just delighted that they went against him, because sometimes you think it's a buddy system. The board voted to disbar Thompson and ban him from being a judge in order to protect its public and integrity of the bar and to preserve the confidence of the public and legal professions, their decision said. The scheme occurred from January. The question I have is, how many people in those towns that he presided knew what was going on? Did the town administrators know what was going on? Did the court clerks know what's going on? Did the prosecutor know? The prosecutor had to know what's going on. Why aren't they under investigation? Those prosecutors knew exactly what that judge was doing. They didn't pull him aside and, hey, judge, you can't do that. They just turned a blind eye. The scheme occurred from January 10th through October 5th, 2015. Thompson served in Bradley Beach, Cold Snake, Eatontown, Middletown, Neptune City, Oceanport, Rumson, Tinton Falls, and Union Beach. The county missed out on $500,000 due to the redirection of the fines. Now, this ultimately is what got him in trouble. See, you got to follow the money. That's the one thing I'm learning here. You have to follow the money. So the reason he really went down is that another pirate ship didn't get their cut of the action, being the county. So, hey, you know how it goes. You know, they didn't pay their extortion fee to the county, and county jammed this judge up. Kind of ironic when you think about it, because they're all pirates, but one pirate ship didn't get their cut, so they sunk the other pirate ship. Thompson's conduct was likely to curry favor with the municipalities to continue to employ him as a judge, allowed him to retain his seat on the various municipal courts for many years, prosecutors said. However, Thompson was not personally enriched. Well, not directly, but he got to keep his position. So, indirectly, yes, he did get enriched by it. But no more than he normally would have if he was conducting business properly and kept his job. After pleading guilty, the Middletown resident was spared jail time. He completed the state's free trial intervention program, which allowed first-time offenders to have their charges eventually removed from their record upon completion. His attorney, Robert Ramsey, did not immediately return a message. So, he's got these charges dropped. That means he can continue to be a lawyer, though I don't know who would hire him. I wouldn't hire him. He's a crook. He lies. He's a liar, so how can you trust anything he says? Well, it just gets back to what I say. These towns are addicted to the revenue. And they need that revenue. They depend on that revenue as part of their budget. Instead of cutting back and operating within their taxation brackets, the money that they generate from taxation. They can't do it. They're just so damn addicted to it. And that's why you see the cops out there constantly harassing motorists. Constantly. I mean, Homedale is one of them. Englishtown is one of them. Wall Township is one of them. Constantly generating that revenue. And I'll finish up with this. This is why I say they need to take the revenue out of the ticket. This is what's creating the trouble. And people say, well, you gotta have a fine. No. When I drive recklessly down the road, or you drive recklessly down the road, or don't follow the law properly, you are a liability to your insurance company, not the town. You're a liability to the other driver, not the town. But, you know, the government, these local governments, the lower on the ladder you get with the government, the bigger the pirate ship is. And they're constantly trying to find ways to steal from you, extort money from you. And I say if you take the money out of it, then it's about punishing you for doing something, because now you got this ticket, you got points, and it goes to the insurance company. The insurance company looks at that and says, well, you know what? You're driving stupid. We're going to have to raise your rates a little bit because you're becoming a bigger liability. But this is how the government is. Our government are run by, on these local levels, they're run by a bunch of crooks, a bunch of pirates. I don't know, crooks, pirates. And they're all trying to find ways to steal money from us because they know they can't raise the taxes, because if they raise the taxes, they'll lose their job, they won't get reelected. And so by doing the revenue enforcement, they can say, well, you know, if you weren't doing this, this wouldn't happen. But they would rather profit off a problem rather than fixing the problem. This is Gunnison Undercover. I will put the story in the link in the description box. You can go read it if you don't know about it. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Always enjoy hearing your thoughts. Like, share, subscribe. Till next time, people.